Hey, do you guys feel old? I'm constantly getting to that point where something will come out and they'll say, "Oh, this happened 20 years ago," and I always think to myself, "Wow, I remember that like it was yesterday." So here we go. PlayStation VR has been around for 5 years. I remember talking about this in my cube mate's house. I swear it was yesterday. Trying to tell another coworker how cool PlayStation VR was and that they need to all come over and check it out. And I could have sworn that happened like just recently. Clearly not. PlayStation is now officially 5. And this is a cool little celebratory blog on all things PlayStation VR. Let's get one thing straight. I am not insinuating that PlayStation invented VR. They did not. They were a late adopter. I think where PlayStation VR at the time really made an impact was it was very simple to use. And it used the processing power of people's PlayStations, and it looked great at the time. And it had some really fun experiences that I think only PlayStation could offer, as well as some bonus experiences for some games that could be played with or without VR. And I appreciated that too. Today marks the 5th anniversary of the PlayStation VR and how it was introduced to the world. And Isabel Tomatis, the senior director, writes this blog talking about how it's coming. We're getting this big milestone. And to celebrate, we want to give a big special thank you to PlayStation fans. In November, PlayStation Plus members will get 3 additional VR games at no extra charge. We don't know the games yet, but stay tuned for more details. Since the launch, we've seen a diverse range of unique experiences, such as Res Infinite and Astrobot Rescue Mission. And for me personally, and I don't know why they don't list it here, Skyrim. Oh my God, that was life-changing. It's a little graph of total playtime hours of the 5 most globally played VR games. No surprise, Rec Room and Beat Saber, which are insanely addictive, are there. PlayStation VR Worlds, which was really just kind of like a demo disc, but it had a couple fun experiences on there. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, I will not touch with a 50-foot pole. As much as I love Resident Evil, that game is far too scary for me to actually enjoy. And of course, the one I mentioned, Elder Scrolls Skyrim VR, which if you haven't played Skyrim in VR, I know you've probably bought Skyrim 300 times by now, just like everyone else. Go to a buddy's house and play it, or just bite the bullet and buy it yourself. When you are in the character creating screen, when you get off the cart and you're about to be executed, and you're standing there, take a look around. The world behind you, the horse that brought you is standing over your shoulder. And I was playing VR with my wife. The very first time I ever put on the headset, she was sitting on the couch behind me watching, because it replicates what you see on the television screen so others could kind of get an idea of what you're looking at. And I turned around to tell her something. I don't know why I turned around, just old habit. And the horse was there, the same horse that led the carriage. And it scared the crap out of me because the horse is massive. And depending on what race you pick, your height varies. The horse was towering over me, and I felt such a grand scale of immersion in that exact moment. And I knew VR would be amazing. And it was, and it is. So they break it down by region. I noticed on here that North America, we really like our Firewall 0 Hour. I did a review on that a long time ago. I enjoyed it. I had a hard time finding a match, but it was a very competitive Counter-Strike type game where you had some really good firefights. Really, really enjoyed that game. And then they named some other ones. Obviously, look forward to, like Moss 2 is coming out soon. I love the first. We have After the Fall. We have some puzzle games, which seems to be very common. We saw that with Tetris Effect. Rez, I think you could also argue, is a puzzle game as well, which are fine experiences in of themselves. Tetris Effect played in virtual reality with the music blaring and the puzzle pieces falling, and how the game really transports you to other worlds, other places, other times is absolutely incredible. I'd like to also throw out Concrete Genie as a phenomenal VR experience, even though all you're really doing is painting. in kind of a closed space. It's just such, it brings the magic of what Concrete Genie was trying to be in a 3D space in such an emotional way. Really enjoyed that experience. So they have some videos here. I'm not going to play the videos, but it talks with a lot of people and kind of their thoughts on how they got involved with PlayStation VR, some of the developers, some of the third-party partners, the first time they saw it. The first time I saw it was actually playing Moss. My wife and I got to go to our first ever E3 when they opened it up for the peasants a couple of years before the world ended. And we entered a raffle type thing on our cell phones to get a chance to go check out PlayStation VR. And we got to go talk with the developers of Moss, actually talked with the creators for about 20 minutes. And we got to take turns playing on the headset, walking around in the world, and we fell in love with it. And we knew it was for us. Up until then, I thought it was just a cheap gimmick. But the amount of charm and feeling that is injected into some of these virtual reality experiences is really unlike anything else. I really do enjoy it. As you guys know, I have some major eye issues. Really bright lights hurts my left eye really, really bad. I unfortunately don't play VR as much as I used to, but when I do, it always transports me to another place in time, and it just makes me happy. That's the best way I could say it. It's the best endorsement I can give. And I think as you read through some of these other, these content creators, people who worked at Capcom and Team Asobi and Fire Sprite and Shell Games and blah, blah, blah. All these people who worked on these games and were some part of a VR team that ported over an experience or made an original game or something along those lines, they're all saying the same thing. It's a totally different world. It's hard because it's hard to sell VR. It really needs a big push. And unless you just blindly jump in, most people aren't going to go to the store and buy it blindly. I understand that because it's expensive. Very, very expensive. How has PlayStation VR changed what you thought was possible for console gaming? Again, they get a different group of people this time talking a little bit. Or is it the same ones? First Contact, that's a new company. Talking a little bit about that. And then any key learnings from VR here. So this is just a nice, if you're a VR enthusiast, you may find some of this interesting. Of course, I like it. Some of these VR enthusiasts, you may find some of that stuff interesting. I think the real meat here for everybody who's just kind of a VR layman who doesn't really want to fall in love and romanticize the piece of hardware, know that next month in Celebration, we will be getting additional content. I'm very excited. Pretty good chance I probably own whatever games they're about to give us, unless they're brand new ones. It'd be nice if maybe they gave us a voucher so we could go pick something we don't quite yet have. But I think most people have a very common library of virtual reality experiences because all of them, the ones that really stand out, are gems, and they deserve to be talked about, praised, and absolutely played. Hope you guys found this video informative. As always, I will post a link to this official PlayStation blog in the description box below. Click it, read it, check it for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful Wednesday. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.